No
and everything?
spam, nothing. No.
I did get the email, Cesar,
Okay.
but I don't know what to do next.
No, did it look like the one Yajing shared on screen?
I missed.
Like, there was a list of all web services that you now have access to. The email, when you open the email, it should say you've been granted all these new packages, and then you should list a lot of services.
Right.
Okay.
BIM 360, ACC Insight, rendering, all of that.
Correct. So all of those are cloud services that Autodesk offer, and so Autodesk has the desktop division and the cloud division as two separate development teams that might be coming to an end pretty soon. I mean, I think the cloud team started as a laboratory of incubator space for cloud services, and then it ramped up very quickly to become one of the most successful teams internally. But then these two teams are finding the need to work together, and they're merging in the coming year. And the offerings might be, that's why we have two types of offerings: the desktop offerings, which is the Revit and Navisworks and all the products that we sell as a desktop. And then we have the web services, which is the BIM 360, the ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud, the rendering the rendering on the cloud, and all of those are sold also as a separate product. The idea is that in the future, we might reevaluate that. I don't know, but in order to get access to work sharing on the cloud, you need to secure a seat of BIM Collaborate or BIM Collaborate Pro. And BIM Collaborate Pro is the next generation of what's used to be called BIM 360. BIM 360 was, let's say, an incubator project that took place or was developed about 6-7 years ago. And then it graduated into BIM Collaborate Pro a couple of years ago. But the two platforms still exist in parallel, but they are incompatible. Like when you create a project in BIM 360, it stays in BIM 360. If you created a BIM Collaborate Pro, it stays in the next generation of cloud product, which is ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud. And then these two containers were developed with different technology, and that's why they stay separate. And so sometimes if you are invited to work as a consultant with another team or a larger team, the larger team, sometimes you might receive an invitation to join a BIM 360 project, which is the old generation, or an ACC project, which is the new generation product. Okay, so last, I provide to each of you a seat of BIM Collaborate Pro, which give you access to all that list of services detailed in the email that Jianjing showed. It's a name service, meaning that only the person who holds that email address will have access to those services. Autodesk have moving when it comes to web services. Autodesk have moved to the bring your own license type of subscription, meaning that if you are part of a team in BIM Collaborate Pro or using the cloud, you or your company needs to find a way to secure a seat for you. Now, big organizations or big contractors, who work with smaller trade contractors. Some of them are still provide the ability to invite and assign seats to other users. But in general, the idea is that you bring your own seat into the table. Okay, so last class we talked about work sets and work sharing. We created a central file in a local network location. I did a little demo of what it takes to build work sets. The reasoning behind our work sets: we create our work sets, we assign elements to work sets, we synchronize with central, and then we also look at the different work set visibility overrides, which enable a user to understand what everybody is working on. And that's where we left it last Monday. And today I'm going to show the same work sharing principle, but instead of using the local network, we're going to use the cloud, and each of you is sitting in a different location in the region. And with BIM Collaborate Pro, this enables us to simultaneously work in the same project at the same time. And so I'm going to get started on how we create a central file in the cloud. And then before I do that, I'm going to explain the exercise today. So I'm going to open this properties.
Cesar, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I opened the data set that you saved, and I'm looking at the colored floor plan. It doesn't look like the one that you have. Does it matter for the exercise?
Yeah, you guys are not going to need a database today, because
Okay.
I am placing this in the cloud.
Okay.
And so you guys are going to open local files from a central file in the cloud. So yeah, no data set today. So just watch right now, and then I'll give directions on how to create a local file. All right, so I was saying that, okay, the exercise today is I'm going to create a central file using a network location and get the central file ready for your use in ACC, which is Autodesk Construction Cloud. And then I'm going to give you instructions on how you can access create a local file via the cloud. And we're going to have a very small task. We all are going to populate the furniture of the mill house. It's the first time I do this, so hopefully we don't get too crowded in the house. And let's see, I'm going to duplicate this view. I'm going to call this tasks. And here under tasks, I'm going to give each of you a little, let me see, or maybe I just leave it in level 1. Yeah, I leave it on level 1. Level 1 has image in the background, which is a view specific thing. And I'm going to put a text note in level 1 with your name. So I'm going to put here. And so Jim, your job in the cloud is just to place a new bed, and maybe a couple of, let's just say the bed right now. And these are small tasks, right? And I'm going to put another one here, and this is I'm going to assign this to Patricia. your job is to place a bed here. And then I'll ask Lauren to find a table in the dining room of the new house. And Cesar, I want to have you place some cars outside.
Okay.
Cars.
It doesn't matter if I don't. I didn't get the email.
I think everybody's now entitled. I'm not sure why some organization. If Patricia got the email, you should have gotten it too.
No, nothing.
And just to double check, the email I send it is the one on the one that you guys have on the roster. Yeah.
Go to updates folder, Cesar. That's where I found it.
To what?
Updates folder.
Update. Okay.
So Cesar, I'll ask you to put some in storage. And Yanjing, you do the 2 restrooms if you can. You put a toilet and a laboratory.
Okay.
This could be and this too. And all this, the furniture, you can do it in 3D or you can do it in 2D. Just make sure it's hosted in the appropriate level. And let's see who I'm missing. Is that it? I'm missing Isabella and Mafi and Sarah. So let's say Isabella here. 2 beds in the children's room, and Sarah, if you can help with the living room. And then Mafi, yeah, the 2 exterior spaces. They have a picnic table, and all you need to do is add it there. So I think Lauren has it more difficult. He has the dining room and the kitchen. Well, let's leave the kitchen for next class, because next class we're going to talk about family creation, and we're going to create a wall cabinet from scratch. And so we'll continue working on that. Did I miss anyone? This is your name here. You know what you need to do. All right, so so let's get started. I'm going to create, let me just show you quickly what BIM Collaborate Pro is. So BIM Collaborate Pro is the service by Autodesk that allow live work sharing on the cloud. And it's running on top of a product called Autodesk Docs. Autodesk Docs is a centralized repository of files that are associated with a project that allow a team to centralize the location of their working documents. Think of this as a Dropbox or a Google Drive for Autodesk products. And by default, it only comes with 1 folder, which is the project files. And then all the folders that you see below project files can be custom created to meet the project needs. And so for the most part, you will have a folder associated with the production of models. And then your disciplines will be listed under these under this folder. Now, Autodesk Docs is not only a place where the model lives, it's also the place where you can upload production files that are not necessary Revit files. Like you can place AutoCAD files, PDF files, and it needs or Excel spreadsheets, Word documents. And Revit has the ability to read and display all of that information. And so when we work in Revit in WorkShare, you have, let's say, 2 buckets of files. There's an invisible bucket of files, which is the live model. So this would be the live model. And there's another bucket of information that is the published model. And so the live model is a model that is stored in an Amazon server and is not obvious to you. It's sort of invisible. You don't see the location of the live model. But it's there. And then the published model are static copies of the live model that are placed inside Autodesk Docs. And so the files that you see on Docs are a static version of the work in progress files. That makes sense? And so the published models, it's when to publish is a decision by the user. When a team or a group of or a discipline decides that they have reached a point in which they can share their model with their consultants, then they publish the model. And the model available in Docs is just a point in time progress set of the discipline model. What you see in Autodesk Docs here, it's and I have a folder called architecture. It's the list of models that have been published from the live bucket. And one of the advantage of that is that this is not a live model. It's trace decide the point in time in which they want to share information. Now, one of the beauties of Autodesk Docs, in addition to centralize all your product files and all your product information, is that you can also display the model on the cloud without the need of having Revit. Notice here I have a file that is called sample file. And when I click the Revit file, it opens a viewer. This viewer will display a model the same way it was published from Revit without the need of accessing the file. It will contain sheets and views. I don't have sheets here to show, but it will have it will allow you to use this web view to collaborate with others. So in the upper right side of Docs, there's something called Share, which would allow you to collaborate with other members in your team, or you can share publicly to people you decide with a copy of exactly the same view that you see in the background. It will be a web link that will display the model. And here it is. I can copy this to the clipboard and share it with external stakeholders that may want to understand how the model works or have an opinion about the model without necessarily have a license of Revit. I think I have a better model for this. Let me switch project here. This is another project that I'm part of. And on their and this is the architectural model of adaptive reuse project. One of the advantages of having this type of representation is that it's unlike the live visualization inside the Revit environment. This is very, very quick. This is a published model from the work in progress one. And the viewer has these tools that allow me to create to not only orbit around the model using mouse, but also create different sectional representation. So you can pull up work plane up and down and really understand what's going on in the model without opening the Revit model. Let me cut here on the left. This is a sectional. This is another sectional as well here in the opposite direction. So the viewer is lightweight. It's easy to use. You can explore things in first person. Someone that a first person will land on the top floor. And there are some shortcuts. These are the shortcuts, like up and down, right and left. QE takes you up and down. And teleport is a double click. But those are very, very simple commands, right? When I am on top of a surface, Revit understands what I need to do. I'm going Q here. Q is moving me down, and we will have the opportunity to do that. And then you just virtually can do these walkthroughs. Take a look at the space. If you have comments, you can create markups, which are represented as issues. An issue is a dot in the 3D space that will be assigned responsibility to a team member. For example, what is this? I don't know what that is. It's not the structural. That's something that you don't like, then you can create an issue. There's a mini map that allows you to understand where you are in the project. And I'm just using my mouse. The learning curve of this is super low. And for somebody who wants to, it's not high photorealistic. It's intended to be used as a work in progress model. That's the viewer.
Cesar, can I ask a question? Sorry.
Yeah.
This is so cool, and I can see how this is very helpful to work within disciplines, so you can right away see if something is causing an issue or out of place or needs to be realigned. If, for example, us, we don't use Revit yet. We're still in just the 2D and CAD. Is it possible to bring our drawings that are just in CAD and see it just flat to see how things line up, or basically we are useless for this?
No, CAD will also transfer with the same type of quality that you see here. I'm trying to think if I don't have any data set with CAD here, but just the same way the Revit file is displayed in the viewer, the same way a CAD file will be displayed on the viewer as well. What you can't do yet is have multiple people working in a CAD file. But that might change pretty soon. I think Autodesk has just released cloud collaboration for Civil 3D to allow like surveyors and civil engineer to host a sheet manager. Is that how it's called in AutoCAD? Sheet manager. So yeah, the sheet manager is hosted in a cloud repository, and then you can publish sheets and drawings from your local desktop to the cloud. And so I think I'm getting this feeling that Autodesk might be doing that for CAD in the near future as well. Okay, so the viewer, did I respond to your question, Patricia?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. The other thing about this, remember, I was telling you that this file, it's a published file from the work in progress file. We don't see the work in progress file. But you also have access to the versions. Every time a new file is replaced with a published version, then you have infinite storage of historical models. And so these are all the different variations of the model from November 3rd to the 7th. I can download historical copies if I need them to. Or if I decided, you know what, I need to return the published model to the previous state. And so you can go back and say this make current. This allows you to return your model to a previous version. And then, and the other thing is you can also compare versions. Compare versions will allow you to see what's difference between two different models. I might not have, this model might be the same, but let's say I want to compare version 5 with version 1. You have to have the same view in order to compare it. So I'm just going to compare, like these are the list of views that I can compare another one. So I'm going to say, I'm going to compare the 3D exterior, no, the 3D of this version with its, also, yeah, in version 5. So when we publish files, we decide which views travel to the cloud. And I think version 1 and version 5 didn't have the same versions. Let's see if version 2 will let me compare it. No, version 2 only have a 3D view. So when we move a file from this work in progress to the published version, we need to make sure that views are incorporated in the published settings in a consistent manner. And I have the similar versions. Oh, here is an example. So version 3 and version 5, they have the same view. So if the published version is missing the same view, then we can compare. I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes, but you can compare what happens if the published settings are correct. You can compare two models and have a color-coded override to the things that have changed. So this is refreshing, I think. But I think If nothing gets colorized, that means that there isn't any change. And I think that I suspect that's the change, because I was working in this model a few days ago and I wasn't doing any change, physical change. But this dialog box will display in color what has changed between one version and the other. All right, infinite storage access to the versions. It's another advantage of using the cloud. And then the other is that you don't have to spend resources on maintenance in networks or maintenance of servers. So this is all accessed through the internet. If you centralize everything on the cloud, there's no more fees for having an IT person to come and check your server. No more fees associated with upgrading the server over the time. And no time, no need to invest in separate or do separate investment for backing up your information, because all the backup is living at the project level along with the files, and it's accessible to all the users should they choose to do it that way. All right, so I'm going to go back to the project that I invite you to, which is called Revit Learning. And you were given access to this. In BIM Collaborate Pro, there's a person who acts as an administrator. This is usually the BIM manager or your IT manager or a person with knowledge on how it works. And once a person has been entitled with a seat, then you can add a person here. And you can make him an admin, or you can make it a project member. So I either your names as project members that are part of an organization. I didn't fill all the information, but this is your roster of project attendees or project collaborators. And Autodesk is not Autodesk Docs, which is the platform that supports Revit work sharing, is not limited to Revit. It allows you to host AutoCAD files, Revit files, Navisworks files, InfraWorks files, Civil 3D files, and because your consultants can choose to work this way, then all the information is centralized, and there's no need to send attachments via email. If I need to share a file with somebody outside of my organization, you just select the file, whether that is a Revit file, a PDF, or an Excel spreadsheet, and select the file, like this sample file, and using this three-dot menu, you can create a transmittal that have a paper trail of record. It will display when it was sent, who received it. Like I'm gonna send this to you, Jim. And this transmittal will enter a message for your review. This is a detached model, by the way. So this is going to be an email that Jim is receiving with the attachment. Create it, send it. There you go. And the paper trail is already part of the process. Under the transmittal tab, you have a list of all the transmittals you have historically in the process. And then when Jim opens it or downloads it, yeah. then it's going to notify me here that you had received it. So it's a easy way to transfer and exchange files from a centralized location. And
I'm
then,
sorry, how I'm a little lost. How do we get to this place where you're at the Autodesk docs?
yeah, I'm going to show you in a second. I need
Oh,
to.
sorry. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not lost then. Okay.
No. This I'm just showing you how docs work, because when we get into the exercise, I'll direct you on what to do next. All right, and then oh, and the other thing is that Autodesk Docs and the ACC platform comes with something called the Autodesk Connector, which is a way to mount the Autodesk files or the files from the project into your local workstation. So this is my PC, right? And you will, when you are entitled with BIM Collaborator Pro, you're also entitled with the desktop connector. And the desktop connector is a separate install. So this is like Google Drive, seriously. And I'm going to share this link with you if you guys want. We're not going to use it for this demo, but here is how you can download it and install it. You need to be entitled with BIM Collaborator Pro, which you already are. But the desktop connector will look like a mounted drive in your workstation. And this will give you access to all the projects that you collaborate internally and when you have been invited as part of another team. So each of these are projects I'm part of as an active contributor or from an external organizations that invite me as a viewer. You can navigate to all the files from here. So I was looking at the TTM file. This here. And the files are not cached, meaning that they are not downloaded into your local C drive. Otherwise, your C drive will run out of space very quickly. But it provides you with a way of downloading the files directly from here. So let's see. This is a file, for example, and if I right click, I can open it and I can also download it if needed. It also means that if you want to exchange or share information with somebody else, you can just drag and drop your files from the server or your local workstation directly into Autodesk Docs, and it immediately going to synchronize it to the cloud repository. Okay, so going back to Patricia, how do we get here? How do we have access to it? And so in Revit, when you open Revit, when you first open Revit, in the welcome screen, if you have been properly entitled, you will see this button on the left panel, Autodesk Docs. Can you guys let me know if you have that?
Yes.
Okay. So when you click that, you will be presented with the list of teams you collaborate to and the projects you collaborate to. So you should have been invited to the project called Revit testing. And I need to change account here. Revit learning. Why I don't see that?
So-
No, never mind. I need to have a file already on the cloud for this to happen, and I don't have models. Like an empty model wouldn't be here. So first I need to create a central file, and then we're going to do this. Otherwise, there's no model to show. It's an empty project. So hold on that. I'm going to save the central file into the cloud. I'm going to switch to the 3D view here. You don't have to do this. This is the way somebody will post or transfer a file from the local workstation into the cloud. And so here I'm going to say, you know what? You were right. Maybe I need to use the file I created before. This guy.
Cesar, I'm trying to enter into the Autodesk docs, and it asked me to sign in, and then it's telling me that my license is going to be revoked, that I only have 10-minute grace period, which seems weird.
And Patricia, you sign in using this email before?
Yes.
Patricia, landscape,
Mm.
this one.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It's
That-
weird because I've been able to use it all the other times, no problem. But I went to this Autodesk docs, and now I'm getting this.
You're getting that notification in Revit.
Mm-hmm.
Try this, close Revit and reopen it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, this is not the file.
Caesar, for how long are we going to have use of this Autodesk docs?
Maybe a week at the
Uh-huh.
most.
It's interesting because I noticed for one of my projects, I'm seeing all the stuff I've never seen before. So it's telling me we need to get this in our firm.
Absolutely.
Mm.
This is during the pandemic. This really helped or really supported geographically dispersed teams to work in tandem without the need of connecting VPN or investing in expensive exchange solution. So let's see, I'm going to, this is the June, let me open the Google Drive. And Autodesk, unfortunately, doesn't offer like educational license. Otherwise, we could have started from the very beginning, just using Autodesk docs and not need to use Google Drive. So Revit 23 and progress. All these are families. Yeah. Got your message, Yanjing. No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is the model that I want to share with you guys on the cloud. You need to save it at a local level. So I'm going to save this on my desktop. And I'm going to call this a central file. as well. This is a detached model, and now I'm ready to collaborate on the cloud. And so you don't have to do this. I'm going to do that. So under the Collaborate tab, you hit Collaborate on the cloud, and you're presented with the Save as Cloud Model dialog box. And then, wait a second. This is, I'm going to save as a project, and in the options, I'm going to save it in the desktop. Yes, it is saved in the desktop. And then I'm going to open it again. Desktop. Detach and discard words. That's what I want. I'm just saving this on a local level. And on your end, if somebody starts a project and it have a save on the network, it will be the same thing. I'm removing the previous work sharing properties that we had before. Okay, so here I'm ready to collaborate on the cloud. So I go into Collaborate tab, and I'm presented with this dialog box. So instead of yesterday or on Monday, I show you how to collaborate on your network. This time I'm going to collaborate on the cloud. And then this is going to present me with docs, the projects that I have access to will be listed here. And sometimes you have to change accounts, because some accounts are from Autodesk, some accounts are from clients. And so depending on who invites you and what organizations you belong to, you may have to switch accounts. I think this is,
I can see that account, but it has 0 projects in it.
which account?
The one that you're highlighting right now.
The sample project?
No, I have access to the Cesar Escalante account, but it says 0 projects.
Yeah.
So I think you should put your project into that account for me to see it. Oh, now it says 1 project. Do I have to like reload this?
No, I think I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. The project I invited you to, it was set up for Revit 2022. That's why you don't see anything.
Oh.
So I have to change it. And I'm going to use this project, the Cesar Escalante Autodesk account sample project. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to re-invite you guys to this project, unfortunately. So this is the thing. The moment you create a file inside a project in the cloud, then the entire project is locked to work share in that version. And so this Revit project, which I used last fall, and last year I was using Revit 2022, then is locked to only display the models in Revit 2022. I should have known better. And so this sample project is empty. This doesn't have anything. And that's why it's allowing me to display and see. And so I'm going to create this file in this account. And this is creating the default work sets. Remember, I told you that Revit creates 2 work sets. The grids, they put it in one bucket, and then everything else is in a generic work set called work set 1.
So sorry to interrupt. I turned off Revit, started it again, and now it's telling me that the license manager is not functioning or is improperly installed, and it will shut down now. So I'm going to try to reinstall, but just so you know, I am doing this in the background and might not be able to do the bedroom situation this class because this is not working for me today.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
In my case, I opened Autodesk Docs and it says you currently do not have access to Revit cloud models.
And here's the thing, when you log in into your Autodesk account, it has to be exactly the same email you use in OXMAN. So your Autodesk account must be associated with this email. If you're using any email, other email, I need to know.
Yeah, no, I'm using that email.
You use this email to log in into your Autodesk account.
Yeah.
And how about you, Cesar?
It should be because that's the one I was using, but now I'm confused. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm using the same email and I'm having the same issue than Cesar.
So one went to test it. I'm going to put in the chat panel this link. You will be asked. You will be asked to log in, and you should use the email that I have on record for you in OXMAN attendance sheet, and see if you can log in. So the other thing that might be missing is that the email that is generated from Autodesk when you are assigned with, or when you are invited to a project, require the user to accept membership to the project. And that's why I was a little puzzled that the email wasn't received. But now that I'm in a different project, because I moved this to a different project, I'm going to re-invite everyone from scratch here. I'm going to do it very quickly here. So ACC. You guys notice that I saved this file into the Cesar Escalante project. I relinquish all my work sets. I synchronize with Central, which will, this is the dialog box of synchronize with Central on the cloud. And when I close this file is ready to be used by you guys. Now, I haven't invited you to that project, but I'm going to do that very quickly. So that is, I need to change my account. I think it's called sample project. It's this guy. And if I go to files and then, sorry, docs, files. This is the Miller House. The Miller House is right under the project folder. You guys don't have access to this. I'm going to give you access right now. So I'm going to go to members. I'm the only member. I'm going to add more members. And I think I have your spreadsheet here. These are the emails that you should use for your for all your Autodesk entitlements, hopefully. I'm just gonna copy paste here. There you go. So these are this email should be the email that you use for Revit, the email that you use for Autodesk accounts, and the email that I use to invite you to the project. If there is a mismatch there, then the thing is not going to work. And I'm going to add you as account administrators, because there's nothing there. And you will be, I enable you with design collaboration. Design collaboration is the module in Revit that allow me to live work share. And model coordination is the module that I use to do clash detection on the cloud. So I'm going to add it here. And this is where I think you should get an email that says, Cesar Escalante has invited you to this project. Please accept membership to the project. But you guys are telling me that you're not getting it. And can you guys go back and check?
Yeah, I have not got it. I have not received it. But what I see
I don't have it either.
is that since I have another AutoCAD from the university, I think it's just mismatching between both.
Yeah. So if there's a mismatch of credentials using different Autodesk products, this might not work. And that's probably what happens to you, Patricia. If you had like another Autodesk product in your workstation and that is using a different account, Autodesk wants all your Autodesk products to be using the same credential, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what's happening with mine, I guess, because it's getting confused.
Yeah. Well, let's see if this works. And this made you part of the project. And then, just so you know, I'm going to show you the place where I entitle you with a seat. In my profile at autodesk.com, going to ask me to under product and services. If you were an administrator like I am, you will have access to this and notice that I added your name, like Jim here is here, and Jim has been entitled with one seat of BIM Collaborate Pro, which give him access to 11 web services. It includes ACC, BIM 360, BIM Collaborate, Drive, rendering, blah, blah, blah. And so the minute I added somebody with a seat, then you receive that email that Yang was saying. There are two places. First is I assign you with a seat. And then second, I added you as a member of a team. And for each of these activities, you should have received an email. I'm not sure why you're not receiving it.
I haven't gotten it.
Yeah. So let's try if this works. So now, at least on the cloud, you're part of a project. You have a seat like here, like I'm seeing here. And to open a central file in your Revit welcome screen, go to Autodesk Docs and see if you see my project, which is the sample project. the cesar.escalante@autodesk.com account.
Mine just says there's no projects in this Autodesk account.
Same for me.
Same for me.
Same here.
Do you see this button that says change account?
Yeah. Oh,
No.
when
No.
I get that when I'm in another project,
No.
and then I go to yours and it says 0 projects.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I don't have other projects, so mine just has like an empty bottle.
Yeah, I see the same as Lauren.
I see
Yeah.
the same too.
So no one's seen. And that's the thing. I don't know why you guys not receiving the email, because the invitation to join a team must be accepted in order to get into this project. And so if this was a real project, then I will have to file a ticket with Autodesk to understand what happened. So try this also. Close Revit and reopen it to refresh, because I just did this and you had Revit open. So if you close Revit and open it again, see if that refreshes the list of accounts.
But shouldn't we also have received the email, Cesar? Because I haven't received the email that you just sent.
Yeah, you should have.
Me neither. I haven't received anything yet. That's strange.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm puzzled. I don't know what to say.
Oh, I can see it now when I closed and reopened.
Awesome.
Me too. I see
Okay,
the two
so that's
projects. It's,
Yeah, I got it.
it's working. It's working.
yes. Okay, so if Revit is open and I did this operation, you have to close Revit and reopen it again to refresh the list of projects. So let's see. I am going to ask one. I want the view from a user. So let's see. Lauren, maybe you can share your screen. Okay, so this indicates to me that you have been entitled and that you are part of a project. And so the way to open the local file is that you navigate to project files. And you see that central file, just click on it. And this is what's called a cold caching. A cold caching it's a long operation that is the first time you open a file in which the file is downloaded into your local file. Here, you just click OK. And then moving forward, what Revit does is just upload a share of the delta of new information that is added to your model. And so the synchronization with Central is not like it's copying the entire model. It's just adding the contributions of your model in the past few hours. And so I see messages that Cesar and Mafi are not seeing it. I don't know why. It works with some of you and with others it doesn't. And so, sorry, I don't know what else to suggest. Might as well just watch the demo for those who worked. So we're looking at Lauren screen, and she is. Just pick a room, Lauren, and add a piece of furniture. And Jim, were you able to log in to see the project?
Yeah, I got it open, but I'm only seeing the 3D model that you exported. If I click on level 1, nothing happens.
So
I can't get to this view is what I'm seeing, I think.
were were you able to open the Revit file?
Yeah, I'm in it.
So, yeah, so go to level 1.
Yeah, when I click on level 1, oh, there it goes. Okay, now I'm in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so as Lauren is working, Jim, you're not gonna see what Lauren is doing live.
Mhm.
And the contribution that Lauren is doing right now, it's locally stored in her workstation. And
Mhm.
when she decides when to share the model, she will synchronize with Central, and then you will be able to see
Oh,
what
this
her
is really
contribution
cool.
is. Yeah. And so, Jim, on your end, if you want to add a bed or something, I think there's a bed already loaded in the project.
So can you review how to do that, please?
Lauren is doing it.
But how did she get there?
I go to load family,
Load
and then you
family.
can choose what category. Right now, I in beds, but
So load family is under what?
Insert.
Insert. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Load.
and then I went to furniture, and then you could choose from there.
Oh, I don't know if I have these. So my load family window says English Imperial, and there's just 2 items in it.
Yeah. If the local library is not installed, try the cloud. There is if you go to the insert tab, there is a load Autodesk family. Yep. Which is the cloud
Oh, yeah,
version.
yeah. Okay.
And type for bed or chair.
Oh, yeah.
And then just hit a load, which is going to load it into the project. It's going to place it in the family browser, and then you can just drag and drop. Okay, who else was able to do it beside Lauren and Jim?
I'm able to open it, but I am sort of where Jim was, where I only see the 3D and I can't get to level 1. The project browser where I could change.
Okay,
so
so Lauren, can you stop sharing and let's watch? Patricia, can you share your
my
screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you see it?
Yeah, so the browser, right click. And when you see browser at the bottom, hit project browser, yeah.
Oh, got it, okay. Then I go to level 1.
Just double click it, yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you see, you're still not seeing what Lauren is doing, but if you go in the project browser, if you scroll down and find the families, yeah, families there, and go to, I think there is furniture.
Furniture.
Yeah, and so see there's a wood, share, oak. You can just drag and drop the type. Yep, drag it into the project, and space is going to rotate it in the space bar. Correct. And you can start building a dining and living room there. And so we have 2 users, 3 users working in separate sessions of Revit, each of them contributing to the model, but you're not seeing the contributions yet because no one has synchronized with Central. So so Patricia, you can cancel here, escape. And then I'm going to ask Lauren if you can synchronize with Central. So Lauren places some fixtures in the restroom. Go collaborate.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
and then synchronize with central. So it's going to take like a minute to complete the synchronization.
I can't turn mine. I need to turn mine 180 degrees, but I can't figure out how to do that.
Select the bed and click
Yeah.
spacebar.
Yeah, that just goes 90. And then if I let go, it goes back.
The rotate button is under modified tab. There's a rotate button. You select the element and then hit rotate.
So do I say synchronize now?
Yeah, now Lauren, did it finish synchronizing?
Yep.
Okay, so now synchronize, Patricia. And there are 4 steps in the synchronization. You save to local, reload the latest, and you see the restrooms now, the toilets and the bed. That's what Lauren did, and now you're able to see what. And Lauren's gonna, if Lauren synchronized now, is gonna be able to see the chairs that you placed.
So I see them, see like this, like behind, like in this layer that's hidden, only if I scroll through the chairs.
Yeah, that's because, can you go to the level 1 again in the project browser? And then in the properties of the view, which is the floor plan that's behind there, you can move the browser to a side. It's the project browser, yeah. So it's blocking you. And so let's change the colors. You see the color scheme, you say where it says name, click on it and change it to none on the left panel. There you go. And then hit OK. There you go.
Okay.
The color scheme was like on top of everything.
Over it.
Yeah. And you can bring like a sofa and continue working on that. So Mafi and Sarah, were you able to log in or see anything?
I'm able to log in, but I cannot see the share project. It says that there is nothing in the cloud.
Okay. Let's see, Patricia, can you stop sharing? Maybe I can help Mafi. And Mafi, can you share your screen?
Yeah, just give me a second. I just close Revit and I'm following the video.
And then Isabella or Sarah, how are you guys doing?
I'm done. I can just, what's it called, share with everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. I accidentally erased the door, so I had to put it back in.
Awesome. So you're good. You see the file, you're editing.
Yeah, I brought in the bed and put it in the room. So 2 beds.
Awesome.
They're a little big. It's a very small room.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
So I'm still seeing these.
And so, okay. Can you click on your login in the upper right side? But
Here?
yeah. And go to account details. There is, are you using a Mac by chance?
Yeah.
No.
I'm using a Mac.
And Patricia, are you using a Mac?
Yes.
Oh, but it worked for you. And
oh
question,
no, sorry, I'm not using a Mac. Actually, I am on a PC.
In my case, I'm in a PC and it appears session-based landscape. It said that I don't know why I can't see it.
Yeah.
And that might not be C as well. So
And Mafi, did you restart Revit from? All right.
Yeah, I have done that for maybe
Several times.
5 or yeah, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you more. There's something caught in the middle that, I mean, I would file a ticket with Autodesk if this was a real project and follow up with them to help you. But things like this happen. It's not. It might help also because it's a Mac. Maybe restart your machine, but then you're gonna be disconnected from the Zoom. And we only have like 10 more minutes to go.
Yeah. Well,
so sorry. Yeah, so sorry about that.
yeah, no worries. I'm going to just be watching the class.
Okay.
Okay.
the same here. I'll just watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to open the model myself. I'm going to share my screen here, and I think 4 of you are making contributions to the model at the same time using the cloud. I am not on it. And so when I click Autodesk Docs, I'll see the list of projects I've been invited to. I go to the Mila Center, and then this is going to give me a look at the model that has been synchronized with Central. And right now, I'm just opening the live model, the work share model on the Amazon server. While my model opens, notice another thing here on the screen. This is telling me that there's an update available in a published status. And so what that means is that the last person who synchronized with Central was Lauren on this date on the work in progress bucket. And so if I want Autodesk Docs to have the latest and greatest published model, then this is what I do. You select the, where's Revit? Oh, my Revit just crashed. Damn, my Revit just crashed. Revit. All right, so I go to Docs. This is the project, and then under project files, there's an update available. And so if I select this checkbox and then I hit publish, this is the equivalent of creating a static copy of the work in progress file into Autodesk Docs. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to publish this. And so it's going to take a few minutes to get it updated. But this is basically detaching the model from the Amazon server and making a copy into Autodesk Docs and make version 2. And so whenever you as a trade wants to share your work in the cloud repository for others to see, then you publish it directly from Revit using this method. You select it, hit the publish button, and boom, the model travels. Now, the model doesn't travel with all the views and all the 3D views. We have to set up what views you want to share. Some views are working views, Some views are redundant views. A lot of are just working views. And so if you want to make sure that your consultant receives a certain set of views, then set them up. The way to set up the views, it's under the Collaborate tab, Publish Settings. Collaborate tab, Publish Settings. This will display the list of all the views in the project, and you can create subsets of views that will travel with the model. And every check, if this is enabled as a checkbox, then those views will be available in Autodesk Docs. Say, for example, I'm going to create a new one, and let's say this is a set for design development, design development 1. And design development is going to include in this drop-down list, I can tell Revit display all the views in the project, and then you can pick and choose what views to make part of the publishing. So I'm going to say level 1, the site. Maybe I give all the elevations, the default 3D view, the sections, and the details. Save it. And now in the selection set, enable set number 1, save and close. Oh, my bad. Select set 1, select all the views in the model, and I have to do it again and save it. So level 1, no mezzanine, the site, the elevations, the 4 elevations, the sections, and the details. Save and close. So moving forward, when I publish the model, it's going to travel with those views. This is the views. This list of views is a subset of the entire model that it's going to travel to the cloud. So I'm going to synchronize with Central now here. I see a lot of, we started this model with 0 furniture. And because you guys are hardworking, now I can see your aggregate contribution in the model. So the other thing I may want to know is, what is everybody working on? And so in the work sharing environment where it says work sharing display settings, I can switch this to owners. The owners, it's a color-coded, it's a color that it will display what every person is working on right now, or what is the person borrowing. I don't see any color-coded, which means that everybody has synced with Central. You can also see the different work sets. Everything is in a single work set. I can see model updates and checkout status, which one of you is working in this model, in this bed. When I select this bed, it tells me that, yeah, Lauren is working in this bed. And visually, I know that she's doing something. I don't know what that is, but it is model updates and owners. There you go. So here, let's see who's green. Green is, yeah, green is Lauren. Lauren has ownership of that. Okay, so, and I know Lauren owns this bed because she's currently working on it. And let's say I want to modify this bed as well at the same time as herself. If I try to move this on my own, Revit tells me, hey, Cesar, you cannot do this because Lauren is working on it. right? And so I had to cancel and let Lauren continue working on this bed until she synchronized with Central. Another thing I can do, remember I was telling last class that users can communicate using edit request. I'm going to move this bed again. And Revit tells me you can't edit because Lauren is using it. But I can send her a request. And Lauren, when I place a request, you will get a notification from me that I am requesting access to this model. And so what you want to do is to grant me this access to this object. You can synchronize with Central. This is gonna return the model to the Central file. You no longer own the bed, and then I can grab it and I can work on it. So let me know when you sync with Central.
I didn't get your request, but I can sync with Central.
If you see this right next here, do you see a number here? It's
No.
no.
Oh wait, there's a 1. Let me see.
Yeah. So that's where the requests are living. That means you have one request from somebody else.
Okay, but it doesn't, like, the deny or retract button is not allowing me to click on it. Oh,
Yeah, so-
there we go.
Yeah, and I think you'll have to synchronize with Central for me to access that element. So those are the edit requests that people can exchange if they're fighting for an object. Again, I would recommend not to do that. I mean, if we are working in the same office and you're sitting next to each other, you better just talk to a person. Hey, can you sync with Central? And that should solve it. So notice how now the bed changed. I think I can now synchronize with Central, and I will have access to this bed again. And it has the yellow color. Yellow color is my color. That means that now I own this model. But when I synchronize with Central, I return it to the pool and anyone can go back and open it. And that's how it works. Now I'm going to move this a little bit. I have ownership. This is going to turn yellow. Yellow is my color. And that's how work sharing works. Okay, so we're getting close to the hour. I'm going to disable the work sharing display and see the work that all of you have done. Good job. Next class, we're going to talk about family editor, and we're going to create this custom sofas using the family editor. I'm going to show you how to create in-place families. And then we're going to jump into the kitchen, and I'm going to show you how to create cabinets. We'll create a cabinet from scratch. And yes, after today, I think we only have 2 more classes next week, and we're done. So synchronize with Central. Make sure you all out of the model. I'm going to synchronize myself, and then just close the model. And as you can tell, the big advantage of the cloud, no infrastructure to set. I always have the latest and greatest information. I can work with you in different locations. You all have access to my contributions. You can share when you want with the consultants. You can access the files using your desktop connector, a mounted drive. And then I'm going to publish this to the cloud, which will make it accessible to my consultants. Publish it, the latest version. The latest and greatest goes to the cloud repository. They have now the furniture that we work as a team, and that's how the workflow works. There is a more advanced workflow, which is using the design collaboration module. I am not going to talk about design collaborate model. This is a system of exchanging information using packages. Packages where you have a chance to review your counterpart in contribution and decide if you want to consume it or not. And so it's all based on contributions done by different teams. And in the advanced course, if you guys sign up for the advanced course, I'll go more deep into how the design collaboration module works. But for now, know that at the basic level, you can work shared live. And then at that more advanced level, you can collaborate with others in a more structured way by preparing packages, assembling packages, accepting the contributions of your consultants, and then publishing a consolidated package for everyone's to use. So this is just the tip of what BIM Collaborate Pro is. Yeah, any questions?
I have a question. When is the class, the next level? Are you teaching it right after this?
It's going to be in January, probably starting the last week of January.
And we can already sign up?
This was petitioned by Paige Turnbull.
Mhm.
And if you want to partake, just email Lana.
Oh.
And she can put you as well in that roster.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Any other questions? Close. Synchronize with Central. Close it. I'll leave you guys with a week worth of the seat at the end of the last class next Wednesday. I will remove it, but at least you get a taste of what is it to collaborate on the cloud. And Cesar and Mafi, sorry that it didn't work on your end.
Okay.
There's our technical issues that are usually resolved by Autodesk support. When you are Autodesk user, you're entitled with technical support to file a ticket. You usually go to the support page and submit it. Okay, great. Any other questions?
This is very cool, Cesar. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I have one last question. I'm really sorry. I missed a few classes, and so is everything available on YouTube? And is it going to stay there for a while?
Yeah, I have downloaded the previous classes. I think Ruth was asking for those as well. I need to upload them to YouTube. I think we're missing 2 classes. So those 2 I uploaded tonight. Because it's not live broadcasted, it might take, and these are big videos.
Yeah.
It might take about an hour or 2 hours for each of the videos to finish processing. So check tomorrow morning and they should be there.
And how long are they going to be there?
If it was for me, I would just leave them forever and ever. But OXMAN admin asked me to disable them at the start of the next class. And
good.
But
so we have a few months.
We have a few months because the next class is the advanced one.
Yes.
So I guess I'm going to disable it maybe in the summer next year or the fall next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, guys. See
Thank
you
you.
next week.